we've received over 50 new contributions this past month, and awards have already been made. We have steadily grown in the number and in the quality of contributions. So it took a while for us to review all the contributions, but it was really worthwhile. It was better than Netflix, and people have really been giving their all to it. And I think that's a really good sign, because I appreciate that, you know, with the markets in turmoil, both, you know, stock markets and certainly the crypto market, it's really great to see that we kind of stick together as a family, and that we not only stick together, but that we continue developing. So in other words, you know, not letting people go and continuing to develop the product during good times as well as during less good times. Next month is going to be our first anniversary of FunctionX mainnet launch, and we'll be announcing a campaign shortly, and we'll celebrate. We're all looking forward to that. So without further ado, the focus of tonight's meeting is really on MarginX. And so we're very fortunate to have Danny and Clarence join us. And I'm going to turn the screen and the show over to them and let them tell us about where we are with MarginX.
Thank you, David. Let me just try and share my screen.
Yeah.
Are you guys hearing me all right?
Oh, good. From my side.
Can you see the screen? Great. Okay, just let me begin. Big shout out to all the alpha testers, and then as well as the countdown to beta contestant. I think the contest will end tonight, 12 midnight, Singapore time, or GMT +8. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Clarence. Usually I go by the nick of Obison, and we have Danny in the room as well. So let me just, give me a second. Okay, let me just begin with MarginX. Okay, according to Katie Wood, the famous investor from ARK Invest, she has this saying that the financial revolution is DeFi. So it takes away the middleman from the financial ecosystem, right? So a combination of digital wallets and DeFi is going to wipe out a lot of financial institutions. So let me begin with MarginX, right? So this is MarginX. So today we have Danny and myself. So MarginX basically consists of 15 core members at this moment, and we have been developing for more than a year now. So it's time that we should review what is MarginX, right? So today we'll speak about 4 main topics. So the first one will be a new brand identity. Okay, let me just show you how we conceive the brand, the identity, the logo itself. It's really a Jedi mind trick, right? Once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's an optical illusion, as you say, right? So we have been going through more than 20 design concepts. So if you don't mind, mute your mic and adjust your speaker volume. I'm going to play you the video of how the logos come about, okay? Yeah. Basically, this is the logo. Hope you guys like it.
Awesome.
I really like it.
Cool.
I actually didn't know about the story behind Clarence.
No, either did I. That's brilliant.
Now you know it. That is why, yeah, it's everything, all the elements combined coming into one, right? So if you focus long enough, you see that different images. Yeah, if you focus long enough, right? So let's move on. So what is MarginX, right? So basically, MarginX, it's a long story. However, I'll let you watch a 4 minutes video. So the video will explain what MarginX is, right? Let's go. Sorry, I think you guys don't hear the sound. So let me just replay it. So sorry about it.
According to the Global Findex by the World Bank, around 1.7 billion people in the world remain unbanked. Put simply, this means 1 in 3 people do not own a bank account or have access to a financial institution, with only 7 countries making up almost half of it. Among the reasons cited, high institutional costs, lack of accessibility, lack of documentation, and lack of trust are just a few of the main concerns. These people choose to remain bankless. We are here to challenge all that. Since the DeFi boom in 2020, we've seen unprecedented growth in the finance world, increased transaction speeds, higher levels of privacy and security, and way lower fees to get started. But we're only at the tip of the iceberg. You see, while the total notional value for contracts alone in the traditional derivatives market was estimated to be $610 trillion in 2021, the value of the entire crypto market today only sits at around $2 trillion. This only means one thing: we can do so much more. In building the future of finance, we want to challenge the current boundaries. We want to make finance more accessible, more profitable, more transparent, more convenient, and more secure. Our mission is to make DeFi even better for anyone and everyone. Introducing MarginX, the world's first multi-chain decentralized exchange infrastructure. We are the bridge that connects the cryptocurrency industry with the financial markets by providing a decentralized, transparent, and on-chain network infrastructure that enables users to buy, sell, and create derivative products for any financial asset. For now, this includes perpetual contracts of cryptocurrency assets and other stock-based perpetual derivatives like Apple, Google, and Tesla. So, how else are we different? Number 1, our network is one of the fastest in the world. Because MarginX is a multi-chain, cross-chain, and parachain DEX infrastructure built on the FunctionX blockchain network, its processing input and output limits, along with throughput capacity, allow it to handle a transaction speed of 2,000 to 20,000 transactions per block. That's 3 seconds per block, and way faster than other exchanges in the market. Number 2, we mean it when we say MarginX offers high liquidity. MarginX's cross-chain structure allows transactions to take place across different chains and networks. All networks can now share the same order book depth, which ensures a high liquidity of assets within the DEX, so you can buy and sell your assets closer to the market price. Number 3, 3 words: high sustainable yields. Your potential MarginX yield is your DeFi yield combined with your trading yield. Let us break it down for you here. DeFi yield refers to your profits earned by trading directly on MarginX, such as through stock-based perpetual contracts. Trading yield here takes it one step further, so you can generate additional yield using your existing profits. For example, MarginX can potentially and automatically divert your deposited principal cryptocurrency assets to various secondary trading instruments and innovations such as earning interest through staking, pooling assets into structured products, or generating returns through copy trade features. Number 4. Whether you are an institution, retail investor, or crypto enthusiast, we make trading as simple as possible for everybody. How do we do this? By replicating familiar financial asset classes like stock-based perpetual futures and familiar investing strategies like hedging and indexing, we lower the entry barrier for existing institutions and retailers in the financial markets. Number 5. We promise security and transparency. We are one of the only exchanges in the world that operate on-chain. This means everyone has full data access recorded on the blockchain network, and we also face less restrictions from other blockchain technologies. This way, we can ensure that all positions are truly secure, verifiable, transparent, and instantaneous. There is still so much untapped potential in the world of finance, and we want to open up these opportunities for you. We promise to be a DEX for the people. We promise to help you reap the rewards.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
It's amazing.
Why did you do
Where's
Well, we
your
should have
name?
that.
First time I saw this. Yeah, very nice, very nice.
This is amazing.
Yeah. I haven't seen it as well, actually. So first time for everyone. You haven't seen it as well, right, David?
Awesome, guys. It's brilliant.
Yeah, David, you are muted.
So is this going to be available on YouTube so we can kind of blast it out there? We can't hear you, Clarence.
Oh, the mic is muted. Okay, sure. Basically, this is a preview version. We will have an official version with subtitles and all. And then we will share out on our Twitter as well as Telegram as well as Discord. Right. So that likely will release that middle of next week. Okay, just can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let me continue. So basically, next thing is we want to talk about this campaign, right? So for beta launch, we have a new campaign, which is very exciting. Sorry, we call it beta challenge. It will be going on for a month from 17th of June to 16th of July, right? So tonight, midnight, you can actually visit our website and then you can see the whole new details about the challenge.
And
Okay,
that website URL is
www.marginx.io. Let me just give you a brief rundown of what is beta challenge. So we have 5 categories and we are giving away 5,000 USDT. And these 5 categories will include top 10 gainers where you are allowed, where you participate in trading. And then there's a 20 commission earners. Same goes for top 10 content creators. This is a new category where we have spotted a lot of enthusiasts or supporters creating nice visuals and then they share online, right? So, and then we have the next category will be the 500 beta challenges. So if you participate in this contest, you will get something. And ad hoc, we will also give away items on social media. So for more info, just check out www.marginx.io. Right, so moving on next. This will be the last one. We want to reward all the innovators, the early adopters or the supporters. So innovators are like Satoshi looking for a healthy knee, right? So we are looking for the healthy knee to come try out MarginX and spread the word around. So we hope this is you. So by rewarding the innovators, we will introduce the first alliance. So to say, what is first alliance? Basically, the first alliance comes in a form of NFTs, right? So the NFT is commissioned by, we get famous YouTuber who has around 300,000 followers. It's a channel called Digital Art Creation. He basically created 50 animated design, and we are giving away 1,000 NFTs. Okay, this is the MarginX team NFT, and it's animated. Let me just show you. Right, so this is the MarginX version. We have also a FunctionX color, and it's animated as well. So all the NFTs which we are giving out will be animated. Next stop. The NFT is not just a piece of beautiful art, right? It has functionality on top of it. Let me just review what are the functions that each wallet, if you're going to hold the NFT, what do you get? So the first alliance NFT, a 10% trading fee rebate, right? A 20% commission based on referral fees, as well as it is transferable, meaning to say if you have got extra NFTs, you can share it with your friends, or in the future, you could actually put it on the marketplace. So all these NFT perks are forever, as long as we are on FunctionX blockchain. So to say, your trading fee rebates, your commissions and whatever not, it's gonna be forever, as long as the NFT is inside your wallet, right? So next stop, we have one more thing to announce. So everyone is asking about FunctionX, MarginX. Are we going to use FX token as gas fees? Yes, we will be using FX token as gas fee as long as MarginX is using FunctionX blockchain. Hope this is a way of thanking the community as well as FunctionX for giving us the support in developing MarginX. So let me sum it up all with a very short video of the whole campaign so that we will share this on our social media platform later. Hope you guys can support us and then just share the video around. Right? That's it.
So cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
So-
have to
Excellent.
It's so
tell you,
cool.
in the like 10 minutes of
Very
video that
nice.
you put together for this, I have a greater understanding of the whole platform than I did before. It's really, it's informative, it's exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So I hope that we have everyone's support to help spread the word on MarginX. So for more information, basically just check out marginx.io. We have more exciting stuff coming down the road. So yeah, we promise it, right? So thank you, everybody. So if there's any FAQs and whatever, you can just post it on the chat group, and hopefully we'll try to answer these questions. Thank you. Over to you, David.
Danny, do you wanna chime in here with anything except applause?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, David and Clarence, for your wonderful and amazing presentations. I guess everyone right now has a better understanding of what MarginX is, and what are we trying to achieve, and what are the mechanics behind, and then what are the exciting campaigns we want to be launched. I mean, during this beta, this beta challenge. So, although this beta challenge is like, using a test token, not the real money, but believe me, you will find it very, very interesting and very useful, because MarginX is the bridge between crypto assets and traditional finance derivative. And among that, you can find the beauty of the decentralized exchange that is transparent and then verifiable, and then your fund is safe because your funds always stay in your wallet. So if you do have any questions, please drop at the chat group. Clarence and I, we are more than happy to answer. And then here in this Zoom meeting, I think we are supporters and friends of FunctionX. So please, again, do help us to spread the words around, and then do help us to spread the words, and then we can go further together. Thank you. I'll hand it over to you, David.
Right. So we're going to start off with it's test currency during the competition. Is that right?
Correct. That's correct.
And so, and when will it shift to the real thing? At the end of mid-July?
So basically, after the beta challenge, will ends at 16th of July. Then after that, I don't want to jinx. I don't want to over promise, but hopefully we will have a major upgrade of FunctionX network. I think Zach might want to share more. Then after that, I think we are good to go. So I don't want to spoil it for the major updates for FunctionX network. So I will leave it to David and Zach to share. So, but believe me, the main net of MarginX is it will be 90% similar of what you will be seeing on beta challenge. So yeah, I don't want to jinx it, but I guess we are more or less ready to go.
Great.
So please enjoy the beta challenge. Yeah.
I appreciate the being conservative about it, and you don't want to jinx it. But hopefully there'll be a lot of people who are participating as contestants, and so that'll be a good test and a good opportunity to kind of clear up any bugs that might be there.
Yeah.
Zach?
And then
sorry.
And then one more thing about MarginX is we actually envision MarginX as the crypto, the DeFi on DeFi. So basically MarginX is personally I see that it's a gold mine. So basically users or developers, they can use it as another yield generator. So imagine particular that one DeFi, they can build fund products that can actually automate their trading on MarginX. So in this case, they can have the traditional DeFi yield and the trading yield on MarginX. So it's a yield on yield. So we think this is very exciting, and we are welcoming any developers who are interested in this area and then help us to build something upon MarginX. I think that will be the game changer of what's DeFi. And then I would say this is like, we redefine how DeFi works compared with 2021, 2022.
Understood. So we have a question from the audience. Does this mean that anyone, including centralized exchanges, can tap into MarginX liquidity book to better spread?
Okay, so the short answer is yes. So once you're able to connect with our SDK and our API, the MarginX blockchain API, then you'll be able to push your order book from SEX to MarginX. And in fact, during the beta testing, the external market making team actually has tried to basically transfer the order book from Nasdaq to MarginX. So yeah, so the short answer is yes, we could do that. And the technical infrastructure is there and is ready.
Terrific. Zach, would you like to say anything? Is Zach there?
Yes, I am, David. Yeah. I think I would like to point out two things. One is the very obvious thing, which is what MarginX brings to the table for FunctionX. I think from the presentation of Orbiton, Clarence, and also Danny, we realized that there will be, keeping our fingers crossed, of course, there will be a lot of transaction happening on MarginX, right? So, for example, when Indra buys his favorite Tesla stocks on MarginX, that is actually several transactions if you fill his order. And all of this transaction are using FX as the native token. So I think that actually settle one question that some of us have, which is, will MarginX launch its own token? So David, our a very firm and resounding decision was no, because everything will depend on the FunctionX token as a native token. So I think, in other words, a not so apt analogy is that DYDX on Ethereum would use ETH as the native currency. And I think that would really increase the transaction value of FX by thousands, if not millions of multiples. At least that is our aim, because like Danny said, we are bringing NASDAQ on chain, and it's first ever, at least as far as we know. And Danny, of course, also announced that there will be an upgrade to the FX mainnet, and the upgrade actually has a lot of component to kind of like support MarginX. So in short, the FunctionX team, the technical team, is actually working hand in hand with the MarginX team. In fact, today we just had lunch. The MarginX guys looks very excited, but I know that they haven't slept much over the past week. So very excited and looking forward.
Terrific, terrific. We have a couple more questions on MarginX that we can get to before we open up to other questions. Is there something in place to prevent malicious fake order books from entering to affect the price?
Yeah, I will take this. So basically, for every transactions, I mean, transaction means from creating order to cancel order, that will require FX as gas fee. So if the malicious players who wants to do that, then they might, that's the cost that we're gonna pay. Then secondly is if that's the case that we spotted malicious order, then we can have this community voting, which we will be announcing later on. Then there's a external governance committee. After the voting, then we will be able to blacklist that a particular wallet address. So so to go further in, so basically MarginX is a chain. So with a chain, there's a validator. With validator, we will have our own governance voting session, just like FunctionX.
Understood. The last question that we'll get to right now is for the initial liquidity, once MarginX launches, who's going to be providing it? Is it market makers?
Yeah, the short answer is yes. We are actually inviting external market makers, and interestingly, they found MarginX is a very interesting and transparent way, because of the safety issues, that your tokens always get in your wallets. So they are pretty interested and then willing to join the crowd, with the community.
Great. So now I think we can open it up to the community for questions related to either MarginX or FunctionX. This is lit. See, you've got, this is very, it's very exciting. And I think, I mean, I think it was a great decision to be using FX as the gas fee, because I think that really, gets our larger community really interested in this and seeing the value. What will be crypto assets allowed to be traded on spot trade mode?
Well, I don't want to be the spoiler, but I think Zach has another news or another development will be announced later on for specifically for spot trading. So MarginX will focus on perpetual trading. I don't want to be the spoiler again, by the way. So yeah, so the short answer is you will have another products which is similar, but more focusing on spots trading.
Right, and so MarginX is still going to be the futures, the perpetual contracts.
Correct.
Got it. Okay, sorry, just a little chatter there. Are there any other questions, or Zach, are there any other things that you'd like to raise at this point? We do have a question from the forum that was put in there by, I guess it's Lucky Bob. I don't know, I never know how to pronounce these things. But the question about the DXPass card, say that you activated a card and it's connected to one of your FX wallet accounts, and you went overseas without your card, but you could acquire the card's seed. Will you be able to either access the card funds via the FX wallet, it registered, or would you be able to acquire another card and activate the card wallet that you left at home on another card?
Maybe I can take this. So when we look at decentralized XPass card, which of course there will be a new name. The BD team has done a splendid job of getting new name suggestions, and I know we have finalized that. We will leave the name discussion in another time. And I think the answer to this is that every time when you activate this decentralized XPass, you are actually using a 24 seed key, which means that it is a full private wallet. And in the event that you lose the physical card, there isn't any problem, because as long as you have your seed keys, you can recover it as you do on anything. So MetaMask, FX wallet, or whatever. So a full decentralized XPass will be coming soon.
Terrific. And so, Danny, we have a question from Scene directed to you. Will auto stop loss and take profit triggers be available in the future?
Yes, we will. Okay, although the beta testing this time won't have this particular feature, but yes, we are taking this thing as into our consideration, and yeah, our tech team will definitely try to sort of like implement these two features in the future. So like it's a sooner or later feature you guys will see.
Right. And then we have another question. I think really, Zach, you're in the best position to answer this. That's kind of EVM related. And when will the new batch of dApps to be added to the devs time. I don't know. Example, the proposed ones in the forum already in past discussions. So it's like, when is EVM going to be, ready to have new dApps built on it?
Sure, David. So, Shady, that's a very good question. We are actually now testing some of the dApps on testnet. In fact, even Foxcoin is actually testing the NFT marketplace on the testnet. So I think the NFT that Orbiton share, hopefully it will be tradable on Fox marketplace, NFT marketplace very soon. So there are several dApps that are being tested on the testnet as we speak. And with the launch of mainnet, they will also come into fruition. And of course, it will take some time for the dApps to come on board. We have discussed with some, and they will come up quite fast right after mainnet. So I think it will trickle in, and it will continuously to come in. Yeah.
Right, and we also then see the synergies that are coming within the whole ecosystem. So in other words, that one dApp, or if whatever you want to call MarginX, is a separate chain, is creating NFTs, and then we have other people in the community creating the marketplace for those. So that's, I think that's very, very exciting. Someone also, there's been a number of comments with regard to the quality of Clarence, of what you kind of, put together in terms of the marketing, and looking for, I think that the question was, are we going to be using other channels other than, I suppose, our own community in terms of spreading this out? Because people have mentioned, we've got a community who's plugged into, everything crypto, and what you've put together in terms of the explanation and everything really pops, really stands out from what's generally being created. And I think people are excited and really want to see it get out there. So apart from using our community, I hope that and the community itself, I think, but to be able to find all types of channels for doing this. I think that I think even just sending this to a number of the influencers that we've dealt with and who've been interested in the FX ecosystem, I think they too will be very, very impressed. Because again, it's one of those, it's very difficult, I think, to find that balance in marketing where you want to, attract the eyeballs and at the same time inform. And what you've put together in, in relatively short, videos, I think really kind of hits the point of being something that you are watching and that you are learning from. So, kudos to you. Really great job. Any other questions?
Just to emphasize, thank you, David. Down the road, MarginX team will create more videos on tutorials and stuff like that. So it will be very easy to onboard new user. We want to lower the barrier for almost the stock traders as well to come into the crypto space, right? So we will have a series of videos, PDF guides, and whatever that is required in order to help everyone and anyone to come on board. So later you check out the new website. We have a PDF guide as well and some videos. So probably from there, you'll get to know MarginX more. Thank you.
This is really great. And it's, in keeping with the ethos of FunctionX in terms of accessibility. Because if there's been, there is a barrier that can only be overcome through accessible education, through really learning it and making it fun and intriguing. And I think you've shown the tip of the iceberg, as you put it, in terms of what can be conveyed to people, and to make it accessible not only to professional traders and institutions, but also to to the everyday person who wants to be able to use crypto to buy a bottle of water, if I may. So any other questions, any other comments from our people? Any questions from the community?
Actually, French X Core dropped a question on Twitter. He asked that whether will it be possible for the team to consider a launch pad experimentation for a token to be launched on a parallel chain but IBC to FX. I think the short answer is possible. I think it's about logistics. It's about working with a team who wants to do that, and also to choose a parallel chain that is also Cosmos compatible so that we can IBC in. And I think the short answer is possible, and we need a team that would like to do that with us to make that a fruition. And if that is done, I think that would also be one of the very few early experimentation that we will see on a dual chain token project. Yeah.
Okay, great. Anything further? I'm not looking at Twitter. So if there's any other questions.
Yeah, so far so good, David.
Okay. In that case,
I think Shady asked another question in the chat.
okay. As this question mentioned before, what will happen once the parachain reach maximum transaction and response and start to have overloads? Will it create another subchain to divert it?
I think that refers to MarginX, MarginX subchain structures. So I mean, correct me if I misunderstood your questions, Shady. So basically, what we in the MarginX chain is, this is a MarginX main chain. Then we have a Tesla subchain, Apple, Bitcoin, FX, and then probably cotton, coffee. So for every trade pairs, there are a dedicated chain. So I think the question is, what if, let's say, a Tesla chain can proceed 2,000 transactions per block? Then what if that exit 2,000 transactions? Then what is the solution? So basically, what we are trying to do, I mean, if we are honored enough to have this much of the transactions, what we'll do is we'll enhance the number of the validated node on that particular chain, and then upgrade the server, which is each validated node. So for example, from 16 core to 32 core, and then from 100 GB to 200 GB. So these are expandable as long as we want to give in more hardware support. And in theory, as long as we can chip in more hardware support and specifications and more validator to support, then it's ultimately infinite.
Infinite, what cool. So we have another question also related to MarginX, and the question is, will someone on Coin98 wallet and also then after EVM launches on MetaMask, will those users be able to use MarginX?
Sure, I can take this, David. Yeah. And I think before I answer this question, maybe Indra can also share a little bit with us what will happen with Coin98, because we have some things in line that we will also do with Coin98. Indra, do you want to give a quick share? Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. For Coin98, they have integrated our FX core to their mobile wallet, and in the next few weeks, we will see the integration between our Explorer, which is the governance page, and also the staking page, to be integrated to Coin98. And also Coin98 will also add the FX core to their extension wallet. This will be the it will be the first FX core integration to an external extension wallet, and we are also in discussion with them to add our EVM when we launch it. So I think they are very supportive, and it'll be something very fast.
So does that, is the answer to the question then yes? So in other words, will they be able to then use MarginX 90 coin 98 users?
I think we are trying very hard to convince them, and the first thing that we want to do with them is to allow the delegation of tokens through Coin98 wallet. And after that, I think then we will try to capture them with allowing Coin98 wallet to trade on MarginX. So we get them one step at a time.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that because that's the important point. Sometimes people sort of have their expectations on on MarginX or on function X to be able to do things. And the point is you got to have cooperation. There's got to be agreement on the other side. It's not one of those things that we can ever decide unilaterally. There's got to be support from the other side. Any other questions? Any other comments? In that case, I think we can wrap it up. Maybe, and I'd like to give a shout out to Judy in our Taipei office, who's been the back end support this time. Andreas is on a well-deserved holiday right now. So Judy, I want to thank you very much. And maybe we can end this with another replay of Crypto Night Rider's theme song.
Yep, sorry, David.
Yes, Danny.
Yeah, so one last comment.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. So please spread the word of MarginX.io and please visit. So I think in about 2 hours and 10 minutes. So so the real beta challenge or the beta testing of MarginX will be launched. So please help to spread the words and let people know how good and how advanced our technology is, and have fun. Thank you.
Great. I hope everyone does spread the word. I mean, that's really how this is gonna grow. Okay. Any other last words? Going once, going twice. Okay. Then goodbye, everybody, and stay in touch. Please do support MarginX every way that you can. Do visit the new website, and so we still have 2 hours and a few minutes left before that launch. But I hope everyone will be supportive. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you.